Martha Bolton said, "When we're waiting for God to speak, He is waiting for us to listen." Intuition is a resource that provides an additional level of information that does not come from the analytical, logical, and rational side of the brain. It can be a reliable and powerful tool when its language is understood and developed. Listening to your intuition enables you to gain vital and valuable insight into yourself, your children, your partner, friends, business associates, and the world around you. Even more important, as you'll come to see in this book, it provides you with guidance so that you can recognize and nurture the thoughts and actions that will help you realize your hopes and dreams. Psychologist Carl Jung called intuition one of the 4 basic psychological functions, along with thinking, feeling, and sensation. It's the function that, quote, explores the unknown and senses possibilities and implications which may not be readily apparent. Listening to your intuition connects you with a greater knowledge that flows from God or divine intelligence or whatever you choose to call it. This wisdom has an overview of your life that has your best interest at heart. It can provide an oasis of peace in the midst of chaos, bring you to harmony, help you release judgments, and give you confidence to take action and prepare for change. It can also be a valuable guide as you take steps to manifest your hopes and dreams. René Descartes said, "Intuitive knowledge is an illumination of the soul, whereby it beholds in the light of God those things which it pleases Him to reveal to us by a direct impression of divine clearness." Developing intuition is like learning to develop any other skill, whether it be mastering a new computer software program or becoming proficient at a musical instrument. That is, the more you use your intuition, the better you get at it. Intuition will become second nature when you practice it. If you use intuition regularly, you'll develop an instant knowing, or what sometimes is called a sixth sense, hunch, or gut feeling. If you cultivate it, intuition becomes a sure thing that you can trust and rely on when you're making decisions. How you receive intuition. The most common ways we receive intuition are in images and symbolic pictures, an inner voice, emotions, a physical sensation, epiphanies, and revealing dreams. Images and symbolic pictures. The old adage, "A picture's worth 1,000 words," pertains to this form of intuitive information. My friend Sophie was struggling with how to care for her mom, who lived in a neighboring state. Her mom had been recently hospitalized and was convalescing at home. Sophie called her every day and had arranged for a home health care aide to visit her during the week. All seemed well for the first few months, and her mom was slowly improving. Early one morning, when Sophie was meditating, she held her mother in prayer and inwardly asked if there was anything else she could do to help her get well. She immediately received an image of putting her suitcases in her car and driving away. She hadn't planned to visit her mother that week, but the image stayed with her, and she decided to drive for an unexpected visit. Paying attention to that image may have saved her mom's life. Her mom had accidentally taken a wrong medication and may have died if Sophie hadn't arrived. Inner voice. Intuition often comes through the proverbial, still, quiet inner voice. Jennifer laughed when she said, "Sometimes I just wish God would turn up that volume." She described the time she was setting off on a long morning walk on a lovely spring day. It had been a tough winter, and she was enjoying the warmth of the sun, the birds singing, and the fact that the snow had finally melted. Jennifer said, "I'm a lawyer and was trying to clear my heart and mind for a court case later that day. I was very focused on the subject as I trudged through the woods. Not very far into the walk, I heard a voice say, 'Turn around.' First, I thought there was someone behind a tree saying this to me. Finding no one there, I chalked it up to an overly active imagination. However, the message kept repeating and it wouldn't go away. I began to think I was a little too stressed by this case and was hearing things. But it became so insistent and I was so distracted that I decided to head back. I was so glad I did. I arrived at my house to discover my husband had slipped on the stairs and was unable to move. He's fine now. I'm just so glad I paid attention and was able to get to him quickly because of that voice." Mahatma Gandhi once said, "What is truth? A difficult question, but I have solved it for myself by saying that it's what the voice within tells you." Emotions. Intuitive information often comes through emotions. Feelings of excitement, enthusiasm, passion, and relief tend to characterize a good intuitive decision. Feelings of heaviness, dread, and boredom are feelings that come when your intuition is trying to steer you in a different direction. My client Nathan owns a public relations business. A potential new client approached him seeking a PR campaign for a new product. Nathan shared his intuitive response. "This client comes at a time when we really needed the business. However, every time I spoke with him, I felt this overwhelming feeling of dread combined with anxiety. I ended up saying no to the guy, and he took his business to a competitor. I later heard through the grapevine that he was one of those demanding, never satisfied clients I try to avoid. Interestingly, right after I turned away his business, a wonderful new client came in. All of us felt excited about this one, and it's worked out great."